Hi, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Zach.
And welcome back to our channel.
Every month, Disney publishes a list of the limited release and limited edition pins that will be released at the parks.
That is correct. It took us 6 times to say that. But that is absolutely correct. And we're going to go over the pins that will be released for April of 2019. So every Thursday is generally when Disney releases the pins, unless it's something to do with a holiday, like a Christmas one or a July 4th or something. So for the most part, these will be Thursdays in April that these pins are released. So we're going to start with the California pins for April 4th of 2019.
There is a Disneyland Resort Happy Easter 2019 pin. Contains Chip, Dale, Tinkerbell, Mr. Toad, what I'm assuming is the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, Mickey and Minnie in egg form. Mickey and Minnie are down below on little dongles, and it says Happy Easter 2019.
It's important to note that the resolution on the pins, the pamphlets that they give us of the pins, are not so high that you could go out and make counterfeits of them. So it's just enough to give you an idea of what the pin will look like. The actual pin will be much better looking than that. And we've actually seen the Florida version of this pin when we were at the pin trading night. Sadly, we didn't take a picture of it at the time. However, in Florida on April 4th, there will be a pin, a very similar pin released of an Easter basket, except the characters inside Florida's will be the Orange Bird, Baymax, Figment, Pluto, and Thumper. So, for my money, way better basket than the California one.
Yeah, I much prefer ours to California's. Sorry, California people.
I mean, we have a friend that hangs out with Chip and Dale, but that's only 2 of the 5 eggs in that basket. So I like every single egg in the Florida basket. So I'm all jazzed for that. On April 5th, both parks will be getting a limited release Donald Easter egg pin for pass holders. And what's the difference between limited edition and limited release?
There are only a certain amount printed of the limited edition pins. For example, both of the Easter pins are limited edition of 3,000, which means there were only 3,000 of each printed. There will never be any more reprinted. Limited release are also specific number of limited release pins printed, but if they were to any reason sell out during the time that pin is supposed to be out in stores, they will reprint a limited release pin, which they will not do with a limited edition pin.
So it's safe to say limited edition, a set number forever. Limited release has a window of release. So these pins will be available during a certain period of time. And if they sell out, they may print another batch of them, depending on where in that window of time they run out.
Right. So, if they run out, 2 days before they were supposed to be gone, they're not going to waste the time and money getting another set printed.
These are, the Donald Duck pin is a pass holder pin, so you'll have to be an annual pass holder at either Walt Disney World or Disneyland to get that pin. On April 11th, what has California?
California has the Kingdom Consoles Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers pin, which I believe Florida is also getting the same day.
Yes, it is a dual park release, and it's a limited edition of 4,000. Which I believe means that 2,000 will be available in California and 2,000 in Florida. I think that's how that works. I'm not entirely sure. If you know, put it down in the comments.
And on April 11th, California is also getting the Spring 50s Day Fine and Dandy 2019 pin, akin to the Dapper Day celebration. I believe Florida is getting that later in the month. It's a limited edition of 3,500, which, again, pretty sure is split between the 2 parks. But if you know, leave a comment down below telling us how wrong we are.
Yeah, these are the Dapper Day pins. So there's an event that happens in Disney World and Disneyland called Dapper Days, where people dress up in period costume, some even Disney bound, which if you don't know what that is, Google it. So actually, we're going to go this year. Ours in Florida is on April 27th, but I believe in Disneyland, theirs is a little bit earlier in the month, which is why this pin is being released then. As mentioned, the Chip 'n Dale's console pin, Rescue Rangers, will be in Florida as well on April 11th. But in addition, it will be the 4th pin in the bi-monthly series, the iHeart Gaming series. And this one is for a Goofy movie. This particular collection is rather annoying to me because they release it on each coast on alternate months. So odd number months, they release them in California. Even number months, they release them in Florida. The last one that we had here was Aladdin. And that, to me, is kind of a deal breaker because I'm not going to be going back and forth between the coasts. So to get the entire year's collection, you would have to, find a buddy in California to team up with and trade back and forth. And honestly, I'm just not that into console gaming in order to do that. But if you are, it's coming out on April 11th, the Goofy Movie console pin. On April 18th, we have 3 pins that are released in both parks. We have the Stormtrooper Executioner pin, which is a limited release of 4,000. I don't think I've ever seen any pins in this series sell out. They seem to always be left over.
Yeah, the pin case at Epcot's Pin Central was just chock full of various releases of this set. And you said limited release. It's a limited edition of 4,000.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And then what's the next one?
The next one is the next in the vintage vinyl set. It is themed after Lady and the Tramp and is a limited edition of 3,000.
Yes, and this is a collection that I have, so I will absolutely be going over there on the 18th, immediately after work, to get my Lady and the Tramp vintage vinyl. And don't you get mine. Don't you be in line ahead of me.
And if you are, buy one for him in case it's the next to last one.
And finally, it's an Earth Day pin, which is a shared limited edition size of 2,500, we believe. That's in both parks. And it's Simba, because this is the 25th anniversary of The Lion King this year. So I think that's why they chose Simba for Earth Day. And then the final Thursday in April. Thank you. April 25th, Florida will finally get their Spring 50s Day Fine and Dandy pin, which is the same Mary Poppins with the penguins. And the final pin in the Magic of Honor series, which Zach is collecting.
The final pin?
Well, the next pin, I'm sorry.
Okay.
The next pin in the Magic of Honor series, which is Expedition Everest. That is a collection that you are currently collecting.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, there's a lot of duplicate words in this.
That is a set that I am currently collecting.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to rush over there after work on that Thursday, April 25th, because we will be there for Dapper Day on the 27th. So I think it'll be safe to wait until that morning to buy both of these.
Yes, because as we saw, the Journey into Imagination pin was still there when we were there 2 days later, and even some of the Timothy Mouse Magic of Honor pins were as well. So yes, those are a smaller edition size, but they don't seem to be selling out as quickly.
Yeah, the Mary Poppins ones may, but if I'm being honest, I'm not going to be heartbroken if it is sold out. It's not like a pin I have to have. It would be our first Dapper Day, so it'll be cool to have a pin for it, but not the end of the world if we don't. And that's it. Those are the pins that are being released in Florida for April. What do we have in California on that final Thursday?
California has the next pin in the Pin of the Month Windows of Magic set. This one is the Stained Glass theme series. This one features Pongo and some other characters from 101 Dalmatians. It is a limited edition of 2,000 and is on my radar, even though I don't live in California. The next one is the Crest of the Kingdom Space Mountain pin, also a limited edition of 2,000. There's a Latin phrase there that I don't know the meaning of, but I will look it up and put it up above here. And you said it's a hinge pin?
I believe it is a hinge pin. It's hard to tell by this picture, but the cover of it is a chaser-like, so no color. If you flip it up, the inside of the pin has the color picture on it there.
And then the last pin on the 25th at California is the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge countdown pin featuring either the AT-AT or the AT-AT. Have a debate in the comments down below on what the correct pronunciation of that is, because I am not a Star Wars fan and I do not know. This one is a limited edition of 3,000. I am unsure if this is a split release for both parks or if there will be a separate edition size when the pin comes out for Disney World's version of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting also that it's a countdown to the Galaxy's Edge, which implies that there will be a Galaxy's Edge limited edition pin probably released on opening day, thereabouts.
And those are the pins for the month of April. There are obviously more pins that will be released, but these are the ones that you could classify as collectible items because they are smaller editions, limited releases, what have you.
Correct. You could say that these are all of the limited edition and limited release pins that will be released in the month of April at Disneyland and Walt Disney World, unless they're coming in a mystery bag or a mystery box or some surprise event that we don't know about. But other than that, these will be the pins that will be coming out.
Leave a comment down below and tell us which pins you want, which pins you don't, and if you don't want any of them, then that's perfectly fine too.
You can still leave a comment. It doesn't really matter. Hey, if you like what we do here, click on the subscribe button. Click on the bell if you want to be notified immediately. And, of course, give us a big thumbs up. Even if you don't subscribe, you can still give us a thumb. Why aren't you playing the thumbs game? You're supposed to do the thumbs. Yeah, there. He's got that. I don't have that. Anyway, hey, until Sunday.
We'll see you real soon.